This weekend's top stories are Plankton Ecology Speaker Series, Women in Communication, and the Fall Open House. Welcome to the news at Rider. I'm Steph Chartel. This Thursday was the last day for senior portraits. The DeVore Photography Yearbook Company will be back for another sitting sometime in February. Seniors each have the opportunity to get their picture taken for the yearbook to be permanently enshrined in Rider history. This past Friday, students had the opportunity to listen to a lecture on zooplankton as a part of the Plankton Ecology series. Matt Semmel has the story.
The Geology, Ecology, and Marine Science departments all semester have been hosting a lecture series on plankton ecology. This past week, Rider alumni Bethany Eden, who is currently a graduate student at the Virginia Institute of Marine Sciences, came to speak.
So my master's is going to be in biological oceanography. And so I'm looking at zooplankton more specifically and how they interact with the other organisms that we see out in the Sargasso Sea.
As the room filled up, Bethany began her lecture on zooplankton.
Today I'm going to talk about my research that I'm doing for my master's thesis. It's on the effects of mesoscale eddies on zooplankton community structure in the Sargasso Sea, which sounds really complicated, but really I'm just talking about how the zooplankton are really important food source for a lot of animals further up the food chain and how their community dynamics can work in the Sargasso Sea.
The lecture series will continue on November 2nd with a lecture from Sean Cooney on the topic of planktonic parasites of fish. This has been Matt Semmel for Channel 20, News at Rider.
This Friday, the movie Hairspray was shown in the Bart Luedeke Center Theater at 7:30 p.m. Next week's movie, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, will be playing at the normal time of 7:30 p.m. on Thursday evening. This past Saturday, female communications students had the opportunity to attend the annual Women in Communication Career Conference in New York City. Gina Grasso was in attendance.
Here at the Grand Hyatt in New York Women in Communication hosted a conference inviting high school, college, and young professionals to meet with top executives from major media corporations. 3 of Rider's students, including myself, had the opportunity to attend the conference, meeting over 30 panelists who spoke about all areas of communication. Topics range from sports marketing, broadcast journalism, advertising, to newspapers and magazines.
Well, we want to give them a leg up. We want them to have a better sense of what to expect if they go into a job interview or if they meet someone who works in broadcasting and they want to network, that they'll be a little familiar and have a little bit of an understanding of what that job entails.
Panelists took the time to talk to the students outside of the conference room, giving them advice of what to do and expect in the future.
I don't have a lot of experience, but what I have is, because I think honesty and confidence in that, and not trying to, everyone sort of doctors up their resume or doctors up the thing and makes it sound like, they've got a PhD and they want a Nobel Prize, but plus they want to be an assistant in a magazine. Just be straight about it, and also say that you've had great education and now you're ready to translate it into something else.
It's funny because I came here with a friend who also wants to see that we post, and we're sitting there, and in our school we're very prepared and everybody knows us and everybody thinks we're great and we're going to be very successful. Then I come in here and meet all these other girls who also think they're great and successful, who probably know more than I do. So I'm very intimidated, but it's also made me realize at an early time that I need to be better prepared, be better educated, because there are thousands and thousands of women out there that are very prepared, and we are all going to be competing for the jobs. So I need to, I've learned to do something that does separate me from the crowd. So that's what I learned today.
The conference was very beneficial to communication majors, but the panelists also gave valuable advice to anyone going into the workforce. Carol Campbell-Boggs pointed out that intelligent individuals are the ones who will be hired. Michelle Charlesworth added that education is what gets you far in life. Read and absorb what you can. Mary Alice Williams said not to forget, the work done in the wings is what puts you on the stage. This is Gina Grasso reporting for Channel 20 News at Rider.
The girls will have the opportunity to attend the career conference again in upcoming years. On Saturday, the Student Entertainment Council had a trip into Philadelphia planned. The trip was canceled, though, due to low attendance. Look for more trips in the future from the SEC in the City Trip series. This Saturday, another Starbucks Live music series occurred. Hugo was there to play for anyone who wanted to listen. Brian Persons got the inside scoop on Hugo.
By playing at the Starbucks Live Music Series, musicians like Hugo will be able to get their name out there.
My little steps have been this year getting some music from the last CD on The Real World. So like with that coming up, it's just little pieces at a time. It's very frustrating.
With a strong support team, Hugo is able to pursue his dream.
My family supports what I do. That's because I also hold down a day job. The dream is to write a song that'll stop the day jobness.
For people who aren't musicians, they could ask, where do you get your inspiration from?
I like little things that bug me, that I obsess over, which I think a lot of people do, but nobody thinks they're interesting enough to write about. So, like latest song, it's called Dear Walker, and the concept was really to let out some aggressions that I had because I just started dating this girl, and she had this ex constantly calling and sending messages. This is really gonna ruin the lead up when I actually play it, but in any case. So he's just butting in all the time, and it's like, wow, this guy needs a lot of attention, and I'm supposed to be lavishing it on the girlfriend. So I wanted to write, a really mushy, heart-filled love song to her, but this guy kept interrupting all the time. So I said, all right, let's write a love song to him instead, because he needs the attention.
This has been Brian Persons for Channel 20 News at Rider.
For more information on the Starbucks Live Music Series in the future, click on the calendars link on Rider's homepage. This Sunday, the Office of Admissions held one of its fall open houses to recruit prospective Rider students. I was there to see how everyone was enjoying our beautiful campus.
Prospective students and their parents gathered in the Bart Luedecke Center beginning at 11 a.m. Sunday morning. Nearly 2,100 people registered for the October 21st session, and 700 prospects attended the event, making it one of the most successful in at minimum 6 years. For those that did not pre-register on our website, Rider gave these folks the opportunity to still attend via walk-in registration, beginning at 10:15 in the SRC. Attendees first gathered in the BLC Theater for a welcoming. Afterwards, they all migrated to the Kavala Room, where they met with faculty members, students, admission and financial aid representatives, as well as student leaders from our many clubs and organizations.
I think the difference between our open houses and many is that we have faculty available here. Many places you just talk to some admissions folks. This way they can talk to some students, they can talk to some faculty, and I think it gives them an opportunity to get a little bit more familiar with the university.
The Kavala Room was organized according to Rider's colleges and the majors and minors of which they each offer. Centered in the gathering was the admissions staff, a stand that many swarmed around throughout the entire event. Derek Fox, Assistant Director of Admissions, shared with me the nuts and bolts of the open house.
Everything that a family sees today is soup to nuts. We set it up, we order materials, deliver materials, set up the admissions tables, do the welcome session with the president. We make sure everything from the welcome session to the tours of campus and all the academic departments are available for students and families to talk to, so that again they can get as much information as they can.
Fox says the fall open house is to really get a good glimpse of what Rider is all about, from an academic standpoint, a social and cultural standpoint, as well as learn more about the admissions process, financial aid, and really get a good glimpse of Rider in general, in one day's notice. Students seem to have enjoyed the atmosphere that Rider provided on Sunday, as well as the university's image and campus feel.
I like that you can drive here all 4 years and the parking's free, and I want to go try the food.
Prospective student and Hopeful Dance Team member Jocelyn Cooper agreed.
The campus is like it seems like a close-knit campus, and everyone seems to get along, and it just seems like a fun place.
Look for more open houses later this semester and in the spring. This weekend in sports, the men's tennis team fought it out against St. Francis University of PA and came out victorious 6-1. The men's swim and dive team lost to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County to the score of 170-125, and the women's team fell as well to UMBC to the score of 165-134. Now for the 4-day weather forecast. On Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 78 and a low of 60. Tuesday, rain and thunderstorms with a high of 77 and a low of 59. On Wednesday, rain with a high of 63 and a low of 48. And on Thursday, showers with a high of 57 and a low of 49. This has been the news at Rider. For the entire University Network, I'm Steph Chartel. Have a great week.